I have a question.
Yes, sir.
As the young man so eloquently spoke, the voting, it seems like there's nothing, you vote, but nothing really gets done. And so, what can we do to, this is part of what we're trying to do, is get politicians on stage or get public servants on stage and ask them, what are you going to do for this community? What are you going to do for us?
So it's so important that we know who our politicians are, and that we also understand politics, and as Malcolm X says, what it's supposed to produce in our lifetimes and in our communities.
That is a question that is asked in every other community. The problem is that they have dollars to back up their question. And so they come to this community and we don't have the doubt, we don't have the doubt. I was told by one official, because you're in a community that doesn't pay much taxes, you can get a park that doesn't have a bathroom. And so how can, and this is the hopelessness of what I think the young brother was alluding to, is that, we've since 64 at least, and long before that, we have been involved in this process. And it seems like, it's a okey doke. It just seems like a dupe. And we somehow or another, in order to get his age interested, you have to see a benefit. It used to be, or supposedly, you're going for the U.S. Congress. It used to be you'd come back with some programs, some money, some projects that would employ the people in the community. Well, it's obvious that in Fort Lauderdale and Broward County, one of the most segregated communities in South Florida period, that it's not being done in this community.
It's the process of exercising your authority and power. And so when you vote, you're sort of exercising your authority and your power. You're telling people that I trust you to do what I need you to do. And what you say you're going to do. And so one of the essential aspects of politics is researching who you're going to give power to. And you do that by things like this: listening to candidates, looking at their voting records already, looking at what they've done in the past. Because what politics is supposed to do is it's supposed to produce a system in which government operates for the people and for their common good. What has happened, and what sometimes happens, is that politics operates for some of the people instead of the public's common good. And we have a little bit of that occurring right now because we have a lot of money in politics.
And so that is the dilemma. And that's the reason why there's not many people here, because they have heard this over and over again, and nothing has ever happened. And somehow, and this is part of what Fort Lauderdale Community Center is trying to do, is to spark an interest in truth and an interest in the process that can actually yield results. First of all, we got to know what we want. What do we want? What we can, people think we want jobs. I'm offended. I'm offended by, and don't take this personal, don't take it wrong, anybody who's going to college and works for a corporation or works for an Ivy League school, don't take it, but I'm offended that we're only gearing our children to work for somebody. If we don't have entrepreneurship in the community, we still don't have the money to buy our politicians to get what we need.
So what we're going to do is we have 2 sessions. Made 3 sessions actually made for you all today. We're going to talk about politics, and we're also going to let you meet your politicians. And at the last piece, we're going to let you meet some lawyers and attorneys and let them tell you about the legal system.
I guess it's still before 12 o'clock, so I'm going to say good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am Commissioner Patricia Williams from the City of Lauderdale Lakes. I have served for the City of Lauderdale Lakes for approximately 7.5 years. I am now a candidate for District 92 State Rep, which will cover 8 different cities. And the cities that particular seat would cover is Deerfield, Pompano, Lauderdale Lakes, Oakland Park, Fort Lauderdale, North Lauderdale, Margate, and Tamarack.
Everyone, my name's Adriana Alcalde. I'm running for county court judge. My experience, it's very tough when you're running for judge because you can't talk, there's a lot of things you can't talk about. There's a lot of things you can't stay for. What I can tell you is what my qualifications are. I was a prosecutor for 13 years. You can do that again. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, we're awake. My name is Florence Taylor Barner, and I'm running for county court judge here in Broward. My race is actually historic for a bunch of reasons, but I'll tell you the first one. I am the first of Haitian descent to ever run for county court judge in the history of this county.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Brenda Foreman, and I'm running for the Broward County Clerk of Court. There has only been one female clerk of court, and I think that was back in the 1960s.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Morning,
I
sir.
just want to say good morning, and first of all, I just want to say that I love and respect everyone on the platform as well as out there in the audience. My name is Raymond Hicks, and of course I'm running from District 92, which covers from Deerfield, Fort Lauderdale, Oakland Park, Tamarack, Lauderdale Lakes, Pompano, and also North Lauderdale. Just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I'm a former deputy sheriff, retired as a deputy sheriff, also a former lieutenant with the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Stephanie Anderson.
Good morning.
I'm a candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives, and I have also been challenged with the task of explaining what is politics and what it's designed to do. I want to first start off by saying that this is politics in action. You being there, you as a young child being in the seat that you're in, us being a seasoned adults. Politics starts when you are in the womb. Politics is a fight for power and authority, and the fight to keep it once it's gotten.
Yes, it is.
And as leaders in our community, I refuse to be addressed as a politician. I am a public servant.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you?
Good afternoon.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Jara McLawrence. I'm a criminal defense attorney here in Broward County. I'm a former public defender. I was a public defender here in Broward County for 3 years. This was after being in the United States Navy for 4 years, 10 months, 23 days, 12 hours, and about 10 minutes or so. And I still to this day say that I was more proud of my service as a public defender than I was as my service as a United States naval personnel. But in any event, those of you guys who know me, who've been here before when I've spoken last year, know that I like to do a question and answer series because that's the way that people get to learn more about the judicial system, the judicial process, and what happens in the criminal justice arena. So just to kind of get things started, how many of you guys have read Michelle Alexander's The New Jim Crow? Okay, I see 2 hands, I see 3 hands. If you have not read that book, quite honestly, to me, it's the best nonfiction book that I've read since the autobiography of Malcolm X. I've read the book 3 times. I've actually run out of, my highlighter actually ran out when I was highlighting through the book. I'm serious, and I ran out of the little post-it notes that you put in there. I ran out of those as well, and I've read it 3 times. It's the most enlightening book I've ever read. And the reason why it was so enlightening is because I was, like I said, I was a public defender. And as a public defender, when I was a public defender, now it's even worse. When I was a public defender, I was getting something like 100 to 125 brand new cases every month. That means 100 to 125 new arrests, new people getting arrested every single month, and these are the people that I represented. So within the course of a year, you're talking about 1,200 people that I represent, right? And because of that volume, you never stop to think about the whys. You're so busy and you're so overwhelmed, you just have to do a job. You get the file, you have to prepare the file, you get to learn certain things so it becomes automatic. You know when you have a certain case, you have a certain defense already in your mind, so it becomes almost automatic for you, and you know what you have to do. And a person like me, I always thought, I have this moniker, it's true story, they actually put this on my door. They called me Bounty Killer Public Defender, because I was not about the foolishness. And I prepare your case, and to me, you had to deserve me as your public defender. Because I wasn't putting up with no nonsense. If you gave me attitude, I would try to withdraw from your case in a heartbeat. And I felt you had to deserve me, and if you didn't act the part that I thought you should act, I would try to get off your case and let you sink or swim on your own. I didn't have time for it. So anyways, like I said, I never thought about the whys. I just had a job to do. I got in there and did the job. And when I read Michelle Alexander's book, which is much later after I left the public defender's office, all of a sudden